What's going on, YouTube? It's the bushy beard, or the bearded lawyer, or whatever you want to call me. I gotta keep checking because last time I noticed that there was at least a little stream under there of something that was going wrong with my video, but hopefully it doesn't happen this time. I'll check probably here and there just to make sure. But wow, I did not expect to get that many views on my last video about the Daybells, but I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to see it, and some of y'all left really cool comments, and I appreciate that. I think I can't say enough thank you. Trying to go a different route. Still gonna do some reactions, obviously. That's what I started this channel on, and I love that. I love doing reactions, but I do want to do more of these trial things, and I am a lawyer, and so this is my passion. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. We're continuing on with this. Again, I will be live streaming starting April 3rd as much as I can the trial, so you guys can feel free to join along. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. And this is Lori Vallow Daybell's full police interview the day of Charles Vallow's death. I don't know who Charles Vallow is. I know her children died, but maybe I know JJ is one. I know JJ is not his name. Maybe it's her husband. We'll find out. That's what we're here about, right? So let's get into it. Also love interviews. I think it's absolutely imperative to go through it and to kind of break it down. So that's what I'm looking forward to here.
So just make it easier so you don't have to.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
I'll be up next.
The number one thing you need to know about police interrogations, they can lie to you.
Yeah.
100%. It's 100% legal for them to lie to you.
Okay.
Be
so
careful
just run
of
out
that.
this way.
Okay.
If there's anything, but
Perfect.
that's right.
Okay.
So exhilarating so far. Let's see if we can just skip ahead a little bit. Oh, no, it's coming up, so we'll wait. I like the little teddy bear they got. You know, in case there was a kid, obviously they have a smaller chair and a teddy bear to make them feel safe. But once you're in that room and the lights are on, whew, I could only imagine how somebody would feel.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. You know what? I have a suggestion. You go back to school, I try to talk to the teachers, but in high school, they don't care. They're like, you're not here, do the work, or don't. Like, they don't care.
Well,
so
and I think
horrible.
with high school, it's like they're just pumping.
But when she was in elementary and junior high, all the teachers worked with her. They were nice about it. But by high school, there's so many kids that just don't care. And I was like, just take it. You're so smart. Let's just take it and see if you pass it. She passed it. Like,
And got a really good score?
Yeah, she passed it with like college ready in every category the first time.
Well, and now she can do what she wants. So
Exactly.
She's better off that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know Laura's your first name, right?
Yeah.
Lauri.
Lori.
Okay. And then what's your last name?
Vallow.
You can already tell when she first came in, she seemed kind of laid back. However, this position, like, I almost feel like she feels uncomfortable. And, you know, a cop is looking at all of this. They're judging your posture, the way you answer questions, what you're doing when you're answering the question. A lot of it, it's interesting. And so, again, if you ever get in a position like this, my suggestion is make sure if you did something wrong, even if you didn't do anything wrong, have an attorney present, because that's what attorneys are there for. They're there to protect you, because cops don't care about you. They want to figure out the answer to what's going on, the crime, arrest the people who are in charge or who are guilty of doing it. That's their job. They don't care about you or how you feel. And they always will try to say, well, innocent people don't need lawyers. Yeah, Everyone does. Protect your rights.
Vallow.
And your date of birth? And
So this is July 11th, 2019. So she's not married quite yet to Chad. So I think it wasn't until November or December of 2019 that they got married.
your phone number. And you live at the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I know this sounds silly, but it's probably the easiest way to start, is just to tell me what happened. And then, so you can start what makes the most sense to you, and we'll just work our way through, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions just to kind of clarify.
But for somebody whose husband supposedly has died, I guess is her husband, I'm not sure, she doesn't seem sorrowful. However, people go through depression and sorrow in their own way, and to a cop that could seem like, oh, she was never really close, that she might have done this. And so although you might deal with things your own way, cops can view it a completely different way.
Sure.
So I know you talked to the initial patrol officer,
And he just got information. He didn't say
okay.
anything.
So yeah, if you can just kind of tell me kind of what happened. It sounds like some of this may have started last night or something along those lines.
Right.
So start where you think it makes the most sense.
Okay, so,
I told you, it's a crazy question.
Well, so we moved into this house 3 weeks ago because he offered to get me a house here where all my family is. So we
Okay.
were in Houston. And so he's like, we had decided to separate or whatever. So
Okay, so at this point, they're all going their separate ways. That's what we just learned. Of course, I'm reiterating it. I'm also pausing it because I don't know law and crime and how they deal with people reacting to their stuff. So I'm trying to also make sure that this goes up.
he's like, well, I'll pay for a house for you and for JJ and whatever, because he's all about JJ. He's never about Tylee, but he's all about JJ. Because we adopted him together. He's
Okay.
his great nephew. We adopted him as a
Okay.
baby. And so we adopted him as a baby, and so we've been raising him together.
So what I'm gathering is Tylee is from a separate marriage. And I think her last name was Davis, if I'm remembering correctly. And so maybe that's why the husband wasn't necessarily about her, as she would say.
And he travels all the time for business, so he's used to just going back and forth. So he's always gone like Monday through Friday. So he came when we first moved in and brought me stuff from Houston, like a U-Haul. And then he hasn't been back. But it's all these threats on my phone all the time, you know, like whatever, all these things. And then...
Oh, also, forgot to give the disclaimer at the beginning. Although I am a lawyer, I'm not your lawyer. If you have a criminal case or any other kind of case, each fact pattern is different, and a lawyer will handle each case differently. So please do not take anything that I'm saying and construe it as legal advice, because that's not what it is. What I'm conveying to you is just what I see and what I would do in situations like this. Again, it can't be necessarily it can't be applied to your case, so please don't take anything that I'm saying as legal advice, because again, although I am a lawyer, I am not your lawyer. And resume.
He told me...
What kind of threats?
Just...
And this is going to be a longer video, just so you guys know. This is an hour-long interview, so...
And he told me...
What kind of threats?
Just... You'd have to read them to see, but he's always mad at me, right?
Okay.
And he doesn't want a divorce, but I don't like him and don't want to deal with him, so that's just how it is. So.
Yeah.
Again, picking up on subtle things, you'd have to read them to know what it is. Getting flustered. These are things that she's picking up on as nerves. And again, when you're talking to a cop, it's completely fair to be nervous, whether or not you did anything. And again, those nerves could be construed as guilt in a cop's mind. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for guilt. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's what they're looking for. And so nerves can come across that way.
So we married for 14 years, we've dealt with it for 14 years, of him being horrible to her. Like, he gets in huge fights with her, a lot of things. But anyway, so he said, I'm coming on Wednesday night, all of a sudden. I want to see JJ. And I told him, I said, I will never keep JJ from you. You can come see whenever you want to, come take him to school, whatever. Like, I'm not going to do that.
So when you initially moved, he had said he was going to buy you a house, so you moved here with your...
Yeah, he was going to rent us a house.
And so you moved...
All my family lives here. So
right.
Changes from bought to rent. Again, these are small things that she's keeping in mind. As an officer, you're looking, is she keeping her story straight? And again, you're nervous, so you might say buy. Some people say buy when they're renting, and it's easy confusion, but it's things that she's probably, the officer is definitely picking up on.
He lived here for a long time.
Okay.
And then he moved us to Houston.
Okay.
And we were there with my son. He was out of school. He didn't have any of his, like, services, his DDD, his anything. He, like, ripped him out of school and said, we're moving.
Okay.
And I didn't go with him at first. And he took him. And I let him take him. And I didn't file anything or whatever. And then he filed something against me and said, I'm only going to get supervised visits because I'm crazy and blah, blah, blah. You know, the story. And so I just didn't talk to him for like 30 days and let him take care of him and let him see what I've been doing for the past 7 years, because men need to do that. You know, I have 5 kids, I have grown kids, I have grandkids. Like, okay, you're going to threaten me that you're not going to let me see my child without supervised visitation? Okay, do it for 30 days and see how long it lasts. You're begging me to come pick him up.
Yeah.
Which he did. It's just like, come back and whatever. So I moved in with them to Houston for the family, you know, and Tylee went with me. We drove to Houston from here and left all our family and all his support, all my son's support, like his cousins, everything. And we were there, and I enrolled him in school there. I tried to start all his services, and it takes forever.
Yeah.
You know, it takes so long to get that done.
There's no easy transferring.
There's no easy transfer.
You start from the beginning.
It's a total new thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any of it in those 30 days. So he just had gone without services, without even applying. And I'm like, do you even realize? Because he didn't ever do it in the first place. I did it. Long story. I'll keep it short.
So I'm picking up JJ has some kind of learning disability. That's what we're learning here. I don't know exactly what it is, but it needs services, so probably extra teaching, extra help, an aid, things like that. Again, you see here, she's deflecting all of it onto her ex who died, Charles Vallow. It was Charles. It was Charles. It was Charles. Charles treated me this way. Oh, you know, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Make herself seem like the victim, even though to kind of try to get her away from it. But, you know, it can backfire.
I've been here in a couple weeks since we moved in. Okay. He came. He was very nasty when he was there, but he travels for business. So he went back to the Houston house, and he's like, I'm coming on Wednesday night, and I'm going to come pick up JJ and take him to school Thursday.
Another thing that is reoccurring, and is probably something that she's purposely trying to do, he travels. He travels. He travels. Travels for business. He left. He did this. Make it, again, separating her from him to make it look like, oh, I could never have done this.
Thursday. Pick him up Thursday. Take him Friday. Whatever. And I said, Casey wanted to come to the house. And I said, you can't come stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee. She's a minor. She has to live here.
Yeah.
So, because he gets in huge fights up there.
Okay.
And she hates him. And so I'm like, you can't stay at the house, so I will book you a hotel, because he stays in hotels all the time because he travels for business. And
again, he travels for business, stays in hotels all the time.
The business pays for it, right? So I said, I will book you a hotel nearby.
What does he do?
He works with teachers in their retirement plans, but he goes to them at their school. He mostly works in California, no matter where we live. And we lived in Hawaii. He'd work in California. He'd work in Texas. He has like books of business in different areas. And so he just goes wherever. It kind of just gives him freedom that he doesn't have to stay home every day and take care of special needs child. It's like an excuse, right?
Oh, you can relate to me, right? He just wants to get away, so I have to do everything. Trying to relate here.
So I've done that myself for the past 7 years anyway. And I was a single mom before I married.
All right, I think it's going to be a little too loud for you guys. It's kind of tinny. I'm turning it down. Sorry if it's now too soft for everybody, but...
And with my 2 kids, and he had 2 kids. We got married, tried to make a family, you know, how it goes. Anyway, so he said he was coming last night. I said, well, you can't stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee, and I'll get you a hotel, and you can come play with JJ. But he goes to school all day. I got him back into his school. his services, I met with the DDD yesterday, and they finally are getting his services back, but we're paying $125 a day to have him back at school because he's so out of his routine. He's been a nightmare on the floor, kicking stuff, hitting stuff, walls, like, he just ripped him out of his life.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just how he is. Cause
He just ripped him out of his life. Just how he is. He, again, deflecting blame.
he thinks about himself. So.
Again, I'm not trying to say she, obviously, I don't know if she killed Charles Vallow, but I'm just, again, picking up what I'm picking up, and I'm not trying to say she should be shifting blame. I don't know their dynamic, but this is just what I'm picking up by listening, and this is more than likely what the cop is picking up by listening, right? So you see, the cop's not really intervening much. She's just sitting there letting her go down the different paths that she wants to go down, because once she finishes the story, she's going to probably make little tweaks when she asks questions to see, does she continue to stay on that path, or is she easily movable to change her story if it feels right? That's, again, probably what I think is going to happen. I don't know if that is or not, so...
He says, coming to get JJ, and JJ's like, I don't want Dad, because he knows Dad took him away, so he was freaking out, right? So I didn't tell him he was even coming, like, Dad's going to come take you to school or anything. So he didn't bother me last night, which I was surprised. I was expecting kind of an ambush for him to kind of, like, come over or be just mean and say, it's my house, I'm on the lease, I'm going to stay here, kind of thing. Because that's kind of his macho attitude. And so...
said something nice to then down him.
He came this morning, I was getting JJ ready.
So he got in last night, but he wasn't at the house last night.
Yeah, I didn't hear from him, except for he texted me and said, I'll be...
I wonder if he died last night, right? That would be why she said, well, I didn't see him.
there at 7:30 to pick up JJ.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that was good, because I didn't hear from him. And then he came over in the morning, and he's like banging on the door. I'm like, oh great, here we go, you know. And I was just gonna be nice. I'm just gonna be nice.
Again, kind of, right here is a pause, trying to regather, I guess, where she was, but maybe think about what she's gonna say, right? Right here, the pause.
He came over in the morning, and he's like banging on the door. I'm like, oh great, here we go, you know. And I was just gonna be nice. I'm just gonna be nice as possible. And I had JJ stuff all ready for school. And so.
Do you remember about what time he got there?
He said he'd be there at 7:30, but it was more like 7:40ish
Okay.
or 7:35. I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember thinking, looking at the clock, and he was there at 7:30, and he's usually Mr. On
Punctual.
time. Yes. So I was like, okay.
All right, so now we have a deviation from the norm. He's usually punctual, didn't show up on time.
And then JJ was like, oh, Dad. And then he was like, Mommy, and like ran to me and was like holding me. He's like, you're not taking me to school. And I was like, it's okay, Daddy can just drive you to school. It's not a big deal. You know, just trying to make it whatever.
Calm.
Yeah, calm. And then he was just being real smirky and real like jerky, you know, to me. And I was like ignoring him, whatever. And so he was like,
And your brother lives there with you?
no,
Okay.
he had stayed with me last night because I was worried he was going to come over and cause trouble with me.
Okay.
And just wanted someone else there, like my brother there, because I trust my brother. And it's been a long story. Like, I had to go live at my brother's when he took JJ, and, you know, he's just been difficult. So, anyway.
I gotta know. Obviously, Charles is dead. I don't remember in the indictment whether or not they were charged with the death of Charles. I don't think it was.
So I got JJ stuff ready. And he was like, well, and he's like this about timing. He's like, I'm leaving in 20 minutes because it's like 15 minutes to the school, and like you can't get there early. They don't open the gates until 8:20 or something like that. And I said, well, why don't you just go now? I don't want him in the house. I'm like, why don't you just go now and take him to Burger King because that's what he likes for breakfast. And he's very particular about food. Like,
I gotta check the indictment. Sorry, y'all. I noticed this yesterday. I didn't make it bigger, so sorry guys about that. Alright. So this one's Tammy. So let me go all the way up. That's wrong. Okay. First one is Taylor. Okay. And then second one is first degree murder. Okay. Of Taylor. Of JJ. First degree murder of JJ. Tammy. Conspiracy. Tammy. Murder. Grand theft. Okay. So they weren't charged with the murder of, or at least she wasn't charged with the murder of Charles. Accused triple murderess Lori Daybell conspired to kill her fourth husband in order to fulfill a bespoke religious prophecy. Okay. Well, so she did allegedly kill. Maybe there's just not enough evidence to charge her with the death of Charles, and so that they're just going with what they know. But yeah, okay.
He wanted chicken fries for breakfast and a Sprite. Like, and I just get what he wants, because if you don't get what he wants, then it's like on the floor screaming, dragging him into school. Like, and he's big and he's heavy and it's hard for me to handle. But anyway, so I said, just go. And so he said, okay. So I gave him a backpack. He got in the car. This is his MO, right? He always leaves something in the house and comes back. He never leaves the first time. I always expect my husband to come back after that.
Again, always comes back. Always comes back.
Right? So I guess he had left his phone on the counter.
So he initially left with the backpack and with JJ? And
so he put them in the car,
okay,
in the driveway, and then he came back in. Right? So I kissed JJ goodbye. He came back in, and his phone was on the counter, and I had his phone. And he was like, giving me my phone, and I was like, why don't you show me your text that you've been texting, blah, 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 you know, whatever. Because he's like acting really weird, like he's plotting something against me. Like, I'm like, why are you even here? Like,
acting really weird, like he's plotting something. Like he's plotting something. Again, shifting the blame to the husband, or dead ex-husband, kind of shifted away from her, right? He did this. It's him. It's him. He's doing something.
What did you come here for, you know? He's been talking to my other brother, and my brother came into town at the same time last night, and I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother, and I was like, and so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And, you know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me for our marriage breaking up, and my niece getting divorced, and my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families, because I want everybody to get divorced. I'm like, what would my motivation be for people getting divorced? So I could babysit the kids more? Like,
I mean, it is her fourth husband.
Why would I have any control over what people do?
Yeah.
Why would I have any control over what people do? Why would I, me, this humble person before you, cop, have any control over what everybody else does? Again, subtle things that maybe in a vacuum aren't suspicious, but when they start adding up, they become more and more suspicious.
So it's just very odd. But anyway, he goes nuts. He's gone nuts on us a lot of times. Tyler and I have had to leave with JJ over.
He goes nuts. He goes nuts. All the time. All the time he goes nuts. Let me make sure. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure my video is working for you guys.
Over the years, probably 5 times, and just stay in a hotel for 2 days because he goes nuts. Like, you don't know what's going to set him off. Like, whatever. And she's mad at me for always, like, going back. But we had JJ, and he's special needs, and it's really hard. Like, it's even hard to take care of it by yourself.
So when you say he goes nuts, that can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
So
here, the cop trying to pinpoint her down, trying to hammer down what she specifically means. Tell me what it means when you say he goes nuts. So that way, when we talk about it later, you can't change your mind.
go Goes nuts like yelling and screaming?
Yeah,
goes
yelling and
nuts, like,
screaming.
breaking
like,
things?
Yes.
Goes nuts like physical violence?
He's never really, besides like grabbing us or pushing us, but not like punching us or something. But with Tylee, he has gotten physical before. And with my grown son.
Like physical?
He's gotten physical, okay? So now we have somebody who she's painting as a terrible person, loose cannon, who has gotten physical in the past. Kind of paving the way that this guy's a terrible guy. Don't even worry about why he died.
How?
Like got into a physical fist fight with my son when he was 16.
Okay.
And he came after Tylee 2 times in Hawaii.
Okay.
And like went like he was going to hit her, but then I got in between them.
Uh-huh.
Right.
How old was she when that happened?
Probably 13 and 14.
Okay. So this morning he comes back in and...
He comes back in, I went and give him his phone. He was screaming at me to give him his phone.
Cut her off. Again, just little things, right?
He was very
I'm in control right now. Don't tell me what to say. I'm in control.
worried about whatever was on his text that he did not want me to see. And so I was just holding it there, and he was screaming at me. And I was kind of walking towards around the house with it, so he couldn't get it. He's like reaching for it and stuff like that. And so Tylee came out of her room upset, and she had a bat, and she told him to leave her mother alone, like, right? So she was really whatever, and he's screaming at her, don't you hit me with that bat, and blah, 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 blah. And then my brother heard all the commotion because he was in there in bed, and so he came out into the main room, and I guess whatever.
What's your brother's name?
Alex.
Alex, okay.
And then...
Again, just trying to get a little bit of stuff here. Wait. Adam. Wait. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to go back. Where are we? 1344.
Years probably 5 times and just stay in a hotel for 2 days because he goes nuts. Like, but I have any control over what people do. And my friend getting divorced, he said, I'm just telling me all these texts like, you're going down. Adam, like, do you even...
Adam, okay. Alex is this one. Okay.
Alex, okay.
And
again, trying to just get little specks to see if she messes up her story.
And then he just started, he was screaming and he was super upset and whatever, and he's yelling at Tylee, don't you hit me with that bat, and blah, blah, blah. And so Tylee, I guess, I don't know if she swung at him or what, but he like grabbed the bat from Tylee and then went to like hit Tylee with the bat. It was, and I was right there, they were right there, and my brother grabbed him from behind, like just to stop him from hitting Tylee.
You go like this, like he grabbed him like...
Yeah, from behind, like just kind of to pull him back. And then they got into the thing, and he's hitting him with the bat, and they're on the ground, like grappling around or whatever. And then, I mean, it was all
and he
quickly.
And he hit your brother with the bat while they were grappling and stuff?
Yeah, yes, he was hitting him with the bat, like swinging the bat, you know, back and forth, and they were kind of like on the ground, and I was like freaking out trying to go around, knowing JJ was in the car, right? And so then he got up and he had the bat like this towards me, and I was going around the other side to try to just get out of his range where he couldn't hit me. And then I had told Tylee, because she was on the ground, because after he took the bat from her, she fell back. And so I told her, I was like, go get in the car with JJ. Like, I don't want JJ coming in to the house, or, and I wanted her out of the way. I wanted the kids out of the way of whatever this fight was going to be. And then,
do you remember what your husband or your brother were saying or yelling during all of this? If they were at all?
Just kind of, get off me, ow, or whatever, you know, whatever. They were like, don't talk to my niece that way, whatever. Like, it was, I don't remember specifics, but they were kind of both, they were kind of in the heat of it. I don't think there was many words that I remember.
So Tylee goes outside.
Yeah, she was outside.
It's a weird posture. I don't know. To me, I don't know what to make of the posture. She's not closed off. I mean, the closing of the legs could be perceived as being closed off, but she's a woman, and women oftentimes do that. But the hands, just being like that, it's just a weird posture. I don't know what to make of it.
And what happened?
Then they got up from that, and my brother had like stepped back, I guess, and then Charles was coming with me at the back, yelling at me to give him his phone still, because I had it in my hand. It was all really quickly, and then when I went around kind of in the circle, then my brother was there.
When you said when you were going around and he was coming at you with the bat, how was he holding the bat?
Just like that, like backwards, almost in one arm.
Like he was swinging it backwards? He would have done like
he would have swung it backwards at me, not frontwards.
Okay, yeah.
He was a professional baseball player.
Okay.
So it wasn't a good idea for Tyler to get out of that.
Probably not the.
I mean, he played semi-pro
Yeah.
when he was young. Yeah. But, yeah.
I mean, baseball bats are just dangerous, don't get me wrong. But she's playing it up some, right? I was in danger.
And then I was kind of turned around.
Which I think at that time, if it really happened that way and he had a baseball bat, she would have been in danger. Anybody would have been in danger. Whether or not the guy was a professional baseball player, as she said, or not, you would be in danger. You don't need to throw in that almost unnecessary detail, right? Trying to make it seem more dangerous than it might have actually been. It just kind of got me.
And we were all right there in that room.
Again, just little things that I'm picking up on that I'm sure the cop is as well.
Except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard the gunshot. And
Gunshot, okay.
So you heard the shot? Did you actually see the shot, or did you just hear it?
I had gone around to the kitchen to get away from him, and so back around. So I don't know if you went in the house.
I didn't, so I'm like a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so I was just...
Okay, so she didn't kill him. What it sounds like is, and that's this... Conspired to kill... Oh, Alex! That's who is in the indictment. Sorry, guys. I have to bring this up. Right? Alex... Okay, so now we know who this... Alex Cox is, right? The brother. That is Lori's brother. So we now know Chad Daybell is the guy who she marries, the next guy she marries. Lori Vallow, we know is her. And then Alex Cox, I believe, would be Lori's brother, is what it seems like. Oh, I already had it pulled up, okay. But that's what it seems like. So...
just freaking out, and it just went into mama. I'm like...
So, who died? Was it Charles, or was it Alex at this time?
I've got to go to get JJ to school. I've got to get to the kids. I got to get to the kids. And so I just went outside and to see if they were in there okay. I didn't want them coming back in the house when all that was going on. And got JJ in the car, and he was trying to come in, and Tylee was like looking at me with like the crazy eyes, like what just happened. And I told her to get in the car and we're going to take JJ to school. And I just left.
When you came back in and you saw him on the ground, where was your brother? Did you see him where he was at?
Yeah, he was right in front of him.
Okay.
Like it all happened very quickly. I feel like I was there because I was right there, and like a second later, I just went around the kitchen to get away from him.
Again, right now it doesn't necessarily sound like a conspiracy to kill her husband at the time. It sounded like if that's the way it happened, it's very hard to conspire that, if that makes sense. That more sounds like a self-defense or a defense of others kind of plea there, but it doesn't necessarily sound like if it happened the way she said it happened, a conspiracy.
Did your brother say anything to you at all? Do you remember?
No, we were both just in shock.
Okay.
Like, it was just I didn't say anything. I went out with the kids just to check on them first, and I was going to come back in maybe, but I didn't. I was like, I just have to get him to school and call the police and come back, whatever.
Did anybody say did you or your brother say anything at some point about calling the police or calling 911? Do you remember?
Yeah, he called me.
Okay.
And he said, are you taking GJ to school? And I said, yeah, we need to call the police. And he said, okay.
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, what do I do? And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I didn't know what to do, and Tyler was freaking out. I was trying to get them away from the scene.
Understandable. And you may not know this, so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
So it was so fast. All that was so fast. Like him on the ground rolling around, and I'm screaming. And
this probably happened in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was like super fast.
And I don't know if you know this or not, does your brother normally carry a gun? Like, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like, I know he's a gun person. Like, he has guns and things.
Okay.
He's good with guns.
Did you know that he had one with him?
No.
When he came over?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Because he's very, very professional with guns.
Proficient, professional. Responsible is usually a good.
Closed off now, right? Again, body language stuff is being taught. This is a closed off. It's like, why are you asking me these questions? Kind of thing, right? Why are you asking me these questions?
Right, but I'm responsible with guns.
Or she could be cold, but she hasn't made any feel of being cold since the beginning here.
And do you remember if at any time, so you were trying to get away from him, and you heard the shot. Prior to the shot, do you remember at any point hearing your husband or your brother saying anything to either of them?
No.
So my second very ridiculous question is
a very poignant question by the cop here. My second very ridiculous question, because what I'm about to ask you could never have been the truth. It's just what I'm feeling is she's gonna say, "Did you plan this?" or something along that line. Not did you plan it, but something along that lines. And there's gonna be some kind of. But she prefaces it with very ridiculous question to not put up her guard.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask about or anything that we didn't cover that you think is important?
I was way off.
I always ask that just because I wasn't there, and so we're going through something that happened a super small amount of time.
Yes. Can I step like
Yeah, go for it.
Just thinking.
I'm interested where it goes from here, because there's still a long period of time, and it seems like that's the kind of question you leave to the very end. Well, looks like she's by herself for a while there. I'll play that pretty quickly so that we don't have to sit through everything, but okay.
Just that. He was just so angry, like super scary.
Did you
You know how you take your phone away from like a 16-year-old and they freak out? Like their world disintegrates. Like I've taken my phone away from a 16-year-old boy before, and he's like wanted to kill himself because like they kidnapped him. That's how it was. It was like if something on his phone that he.
Interesting answer. The need to over-explain can sometimes mean you're hiding something. I'm over-explaining it.
He does not want me to see that he was like freaking out, like to the point where I thought he would hit me in the back of the head to get the phone.
Okay. So you thought...
It's justified because he was going to hit me in the head with the bat. That's why this is justified. Again, it could have been. I don't know. But it's the over-explaining.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you thought it was possible that he was going to hurt you.
Absolutely, he was going to hurt me and Tylee.
Okay.
Not JJ. He would never hurt JJ.
Okay.
And he hurt my brother. Like, he was going like ballistic about. It was bad.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to her real quick.
Okay.
And then if obviously, we'll be here for a little bit, hopefully not too much longer. But if you think of anything or there's anything that kind of pops in your head or something else that we didn't cover, obviously. So I'm gonna go talk to her for just a little bit, and then I'll kind of come back and check with you. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I know my partner's talking to your brother over in one of the other interview rooms. So we're going to just try to get, as much done as we can and go from there. Okay?
Interesting. And oftentimes when they do this, they step out and they can come back and say, the story's just not adding up. Whether or not they talk to the other person, this is a very common tactic, especially if it's like, maybe not in this scenario particularly, but like if you have two people who claim that they're both innocent and you go back into one and you say, the other guy says you're not telling me the whole truth, he told me all of it, and lying, obviously, but it's when you're in that position, you don't know they're lying.
And then is there anybody that you need to call or anything, or you want to wait a little bit?
I don't know what I would say.
No. And wait a little bit, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know what I would say.
And if you want to, you can think about it. So we do have victim services that work within the police department. They're right over here. They're not cops, they're civilians. And they do, Jessica, who was out there with the fire department, so they're kind of our crisis response. They come right away. So our victim services that work in the department are kind of more long-term type support systems. So they're just a really good resource because they do a lot of stuff with our families and things like that, and can help with support services and questions you might have.
She's been through so much.
So it might be a good idea.
I just can't stand for her to have to go through all this.
Yeah, it might be a good idea maybe before I take you guys back today that I get one of them to come in and maybe sit and talk with you guys and see. And it's not something there's a bunch of stuff they can offer, but it's good to have a contact and like a name and a face and a phone number.
That'd be good.
That way maybe a couple days from now, a week from now, or if there's something going on or you think you need help with something, it may not be something that's necessarily up like me and my partner's alley, but it very much may be up theirs. So I'd like for you to meet one of them before we leave. That way, hopefully if there's something that they can help you and your daughter with, they can, or even JJ or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I haven't even thought about him.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he's used to him not being there, but he wouldn't understand even if you told him.
Right.
Like, that somebody passed away, he doesn't understand
what that means. Well, I mean, it's hard at 7 to understand that
anyway. That's true, but with him, he just doesn't, which is probably better because he doesn't comprehend things, but I don't know. It's just, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So let me go find one of them, and then we'll make sure that you guys get to meet with them before you leave. because that might be something very helpful for you guys. And I'm gonna go speak with your daughter for just a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
Okay? And if you need anything, let me know, okay? Okay.
But oftentimes I'll leave people in here for a longer period of time just to see what happens while they're gone, because oftentimes people will act erratically or act weird, and yeah, so they do that and they leave the camera rolling just for that reason sometimes. But yeah, let's which is why I am going to. That's interesting to me, right? It's like she shows no emotion through the whole thing, but now all of a sudden is emotional. How do I do playback speed? I thought it was here, settings, ambient mode. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh crap. Crud, I mean. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's see here. We got her crying a little bit. Okay. And it's possible that because they brought up JJ that she's now crying. That's a very possibility. Alright, she has her eyes closed. She is closed off, it seems, from her posture. Kind of like almost in a meditative state. I wish it could go faster, right? No. Custom. Oh, there we go. Nope. Not moving much. Does she move, like, at all? Almost in, like, a meditative state right here, right? I mean, that's weird in and of itself. A good, like, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, she doesn't move, like, at all. I kind of want to see if she says anything. That's why I'm not skipping ahead too much, but... Wait. I want to hear what it says. She looks up real quick. I can't make out what they're saying. I mean, it's very odd. Very odd behavior to me. Not necessarily guilty behavior, but odd. I don't know if you've ever tried to sit in one place like that for 20 to 30 minutes. It's pretty hard. It's just weird behavior. It's odd behavior. I don't know. It's just odd.
I like your daughter a lot.
She's fun.
Yeah. So one of the victim services, Denise, is here. So I kind of told her just a little bit of what happened. So if you're good with it, I'm going to have her come over and I'm going to introduce her to you guys so you guys can talk for a little bit, which kind of works well too because I need to run over to where my partner's at and just talk to him a little bit. That way you guys will have a little bit, hopefully, extra support if you need it. So I'm going to go grab Denise real fast and then introduce you guys. Okay?
I wonder if Denise is really a victim service person. Or is Denise the good cop? Good cop, bad cop, you know? Back to this non-movement. Okay, so looks like they at least turned the video off for the
Talk and stuff, and then you can just, once you guys talk and kind of, you can decide if you're comfortable with Tylee coming in or whatever.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll
I just didn't want her to be left alone in
Yeah,
there by herself.
yeah.
She's freaking out. Like,
So we keep kind of popping in and checking on her and
I
stuff.
just didn't want her to be alone too long.
Yeah.
We'll be as brief or as long as you want, okay? I'm here to try to, you got lots of choices when you talk, so we'll just get started and then we'll go from there. Does that sound okay?
Switching gears now to Idaho.
Okay. That was really interesting. All right, we got here. Oh, lots of stuff here. Okay. We got lots of stuff we can watch, guys. Ooh, we got Alex Cox. That's going to be good. Okay, okay. Now that I have found this playlist, we're going to use that playlist going forward. And we'll just go down the line here. You know what? For some of these longer ones, I think I might do it via live and just have you guys come and chat and chill and hang out. But yeah, some of the shorter ones I'll just do a regular video for. So anyways, y'all, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, if you can give it a thumbs down, it won't hurt my feelings, or you can give it a thumbs up because it's not going to hurt yours. If you're new, please do consider subscribing. We're trying to get to that 51,000. We're so close to it. I hope each and every one of y'all are having a good day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. And as always, until next time, YouTube, smile like you mean it. From the Bushy Beard. Oh, crap.